Hello, you lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about things that will drive you mental in the Philippines. And they will drive you mental in the Philippines. Let's talk about the first thing. Cockerels. It knew I was going to talk about them. Cockerels. No matter where you are, even if you're in the city, you will still hear cockerels. In where I am, anyway. I must admit, when I was in Cebu, I don't think I heard them in Cebu, but in Mindanao, you will hear cockerels until it gets dark, until they start to roost in the trees. That will drive you to the state of distraction. It will, people, honestly. And I've been here now for a long time. They still drive me mental. And karaoke's. Now, karaoke's, I don't mind them. I've got one. But you have to think about your neighbours. This is what I was thinking. No, you don't. In the Philippines, no, you don't. They think about themselves, and it could be at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they blasting out their songs and their tunes, and they drinking heavily. I don't mind the drinking. Don't mind that. I don't mind it if I'm part of the karaoke night. But there's a one going on now. It's stopped at the moment. That's why I'm doing this video. But it might start again. It might start again. And there is no rhyme or reason to why. It's just something what they decide to do. If they want a karaoke, they will get a karaoke. They will do a karaoke. Right, so you got... These are just two things. Now, the other thing is maybe the heat. The heat could probably drive you mental. It'll drive you to distraction as well, because it can be intense day after day. And sometimes not just the heat, but the high humidity when there's no air and you get like 85% plus humidity, and you just sweat by doing nothing. You sweat by absolutely just being sat there, not doing a thing. It gets to me sometimes, and I've got a stinking cold now. Bad chest, you know, they're normal. And I don't think this high humidity helps in the heat. No fever, thank goodness, no fever, but, you know, snotty. So that will get you guys. And you might say, well, yeah, if you get aircon, yeah, but, you know, you aren't in the house all the time. You know, I don't spend my life sat in the house. So even here, and I'm sat here in my van, because it's the only place where there is no videoke. I can't hear it that much. So I've had to drive out of my place to here so I can do a video for you guys. Now, but it's that loud. If they start, you will hear it. You will definitely hear it, because now is Halloween, like the Day of the Dead and all that. So people are getting drunk. People are celebrating the life of the dead person when they were alive. It's just a different thing that we celebrated. I think it's good way what they celebrate here. Now, spiders. And I'm saying spiders because I was sat in my little office the day before yesterday, and I was just tapping away on the computer doing something, and this fucking great spider, you come out. And I've never liked spiders, never. Even when I was in England and you get the spiders, I've never liked them, never will. So I like screamed like a girl, and then my wife just like comes in. What's the matter? There, look, on the wall. And she will go and pick them up and just throw them outside. Now, most spiders are venomous. I don't know if you know this, but most spiders have got venom. But most spiders, you know, I mean, if they bite you, you don't even know. You know, you don't feel it, or you might put it down to a mosquito or something. But most spiders are actually venomous. Now, there is some really poisonous spiders here in the Philippines. I don't know what they are or what they look like, but I think anything that is black, not brown, black, and got colours is poison. That's my my rule of thinking. If it's black, if it's got colours, it's poisonous. And my son, Kalen, was going to put on his shoes, his slipper things. And my wife just always does it. I do it now. She just tapped them in this fucking. It was like a yellow spider, not very big, maybe as big as a fingernail. Maybe its body as big as a fingernail, and its legs wasn't that long, but that just screwed out and gone. But my wife said that was poisonous. And now I know there are some deadly spiders here. Another thing is snakes. Now, this might surprise you, but they don't really bother me anymore. Honestly, I mean, I don't like them. I wouldn't make friends with one, and I wouldn't kind of invite them in the house, you know, or I wouldn't have one as a pet. But when I first came to the Philippines, I was petrified of snakes. I was petrified of them. I don't know what's changed in me, but I'm not so scared of them now. Like, we get, and because of where we are, and we do clean the surroundings to keep the snakes away, but it's a preventative. It doesn't stop them coming into your house. Now, we get snakes in the house, maybe not regular. I'm not going to say they're regular because they're not. Maybe once every, I don't know, a couple of months. And my wife will say, Stephen, there's a snake. And I'll go, that's all right, no problem. You get it. Oh, the dogs are fighting. The dogs are fighting. They always fighting. Dogs are always fighting here. It's part and parcel of the Philippines. There are so many wild dogs here, so many. You know, like I used to feel sorry for these dogs when they would fight each other, but it's just what they do. And this is going to be another dangerous thing after I finish with the snakes. Now, there are many poisonous snakes in the Philippines. The Philippine cobra, I think it's the third most deadliest snake in the world. I personally haven't seen one, but I know people here who have. I don't know anyone personally who's been bitten, but I know people here have. They've told me about someone was bitten many years ago and this and that. But stories in the Philippines get exaggerated. So, yeah. So, snakes, I'm not so scared of them. Like I said, I wouldn't make friends with a snake. I've made plenty of friends with snakes in the past. He doesn't get you very far. And another thing, dogs. Dogs is very dangerous here, mainly because of rabies. Now, the Philippines is one of the top countries in the world for rabies. Now, the reason for this is because there are so many street dogs. They're not vaccinated. Have I seen a dog that has had rabies? I don't think so. But like I said in a previous video, the dog that was trying to get into my house, and it was all snaring, it was getting at the glass. But thinking about it, what some viewers actually said, it could be it saw its own reflection and was trying to fight its own reflection in the glass. I don't know, but I've never seen a dog do that. You've got to be very careful of them. Generally speaking, most of these street dogs are very friendly. But if you're new in the neighborhood, they will bark at you because they don't know you. But once they get to know you, they just look at you. But they are very, very dangerous here, people. Really, really. When I go out to the shop at the bottom or the top here, I always take a stick. Many people here do, because you just never know. Touch wood. There's nothing to touch wood, but I've never been attacked by a dog in my life. Do you know what? I'm tempting fate here, aren't I? I'm tempting fate. Now, these few things I've said is just a few things. There are many, many more. And we've got to talk about motorcycles here. Now, this is probably one of the most sure things that's probably going to get you injured, seriously injured, or even death, because you get a motorcycle here. I've had 3 motorcycles since I've been here, and I've had 2 accidents as well. That's why I haven't got a motorcycle now. I will never get another one. The first accident I had, and may I say this, is that these accidents were not my problem. I didn't cause these accidents, but then everyone says that, but I didn't. They will blame you instantly. They will blame you. The first one, a police station job, but it was proved that I didn't cause the accident only because of CCTV. The second one was I was going fishing early one morning on a Saturday, and there was a lad on a motorcycle riding, the lad on the back carrying a chicken, and they just swerved in front of me, and I swerved to miss them, and I fell off the bike. Now they looked behind, saw me on the floor, and laughed and just went. So that was like they didn't even stop. Bikes is a sure thing here, people, to actually, you're taking your life in your own hands every time you go. You are in a car, but at least in a car, you've got a bit of a shell to protect you. Motorcycles and these big Hiluxes and all of these big vehicles, they just, when you're on a motorcycle, they just cut you up and everything. They've got no respect for motorcycles here at all. And that's a sure way of being in a potential accident. I think that's probably one of the biggest, actually. And it's just not worth it. I mean, if I didn't have a car, I wouldn't even go back to buying a bike again. I simply wouldn't. I wouldn't. I've had my fill of bikes here in the Philippines. Yes, it's nice when because you got that sense of freedom when when you're on a motorcycle. But when you've been in a couple of, even one accident, and we were lucky. I was lucky both times. First time my wife was with me, she was pregnant at the time. No damage to her, no damage to me. Just bits of broken skin, and my wrist was smashed up, my ankle was smashed up, but nobody was seriously injured. The bike got the most of it. So me going back to motorcycles, never again in the Philippines, never again. And this is relatively quiet where I am. You go in Cebu, places like that, it's absolutely mental. It's, you'd have to be demented to get a motorcycle and ride in them areas. That's just my opinion. So we've got all these things, and another thing is mosquitoes. It's not just drive you crazy, but they can actually kill you here. There is dengue here, and it's here. It's real. Dengue is real, people. When I first came to the Philippines, and I'd been here for maybe less than a year, and I broke up with my first partner here, and I went to get an apartment that I was living in, and this was a very, very sad story, actually. And my next door neighbours, I didn't know them, and they had a 6-year-old daughter who died just when I was there, actually, of dengue. And they never had the money. I didn't know any of this, otherwise I would have helped, but they never had the money to take the child's daughter. So she died of dengue anyway. Now, a couple of months after that, in the same place, I got dengue. I got it, and I spent 4 days in hospital. Now, I was bad. I was feeling shit, but I didn't feel as shit as I thought I was going to feel. Now, they just kept me in there till the platelets built up and blah, blah, blah. Then I was released. But it's real. Dengue is real. And apparently these dengue mosquitoes come out in the mornings and a couple of hours before it gets dark in the nighttime. So they are very active. And I've seen them here. So dengue mosquitoes are here. It doesn't mean to say you get bit by a dengue mosquito that you're going to get dengue. It's just, the chances are higher. So all these things, you might think, why, bloody hell, the Philippines, and not only is it a developing country with, like a corrupted system, but there's many things there that want to kill you or, drive you to the state of dementia, of feeling demented, not dementia. I think I might have that. I am forgetting things, actually. But I think it's the heat. I think it's the heat. Oh God, what am I here for? But, see, even sat here talking to you, the sweat is running off me. These things here, I mean, if you can deal with these things, then you can deal with anything. That's the way that I look at it. If you can survive the Philippines and still enjoy living in the Philippines, then you will enjoy living anywhere. Or you can live anywhere. Let's just say that. You can live anywhere. Especially being a Brit. We don't have any of these things. Everything is regulated, perhaps too much. But, we only have airborne poisonous snake, and it's not deadly, which is the adder. I've never seen one. My father was bitten by an adder when he was doing the gardening once, but it didn't make him sick. But that's it, really. I mean, if you can survive in the Philippines with all of this stuff that goes on, and I know many of you can't, and many of you don't want to. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Sometimes I question my own, you know, my own stupidity. But you kind of get used to things in a way. But I can't get used to the barking dogs as well. Barking dogs, especially when there's a dog in season, and the street dogs are outside, see, so they are fighting for her. Just like they do in England on a Saturday night if you go to a nightclub. Just like in England in a nightclub. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. I remember them days. Never mind, they're gone. Like I said, the videokies drive me up the wall sometimes. But if I'm part of it, I don't care because I'm on their level. So that's about it. Oh, I must say this. The crocodiles here. Now, I've never seen one. I don't fish in rivers really. Sometimes I do, but not often because there's no fish in them. The people, they've electrocuted everything here in these rivers and little streams, and they go and they just eat little fish like this. They don't put anything back. But apparently, there's a river here, and it's called the Ilaya River, and I have been fishing there a few times because there's some big bass in there. I've never caught one, but the people say there is crocodiles in there. So as soon as they mentioned that, I didn't go back. Now, I've asked some of the local people here and they said, yeah, there is, yeah. I said, well, who's seen one? And then they come out with these stories, like the children were taken, babies were taken by crocodiles. Now, look, who am I to say it hasn't happened? I don't know. But I'm cautious of things like this. So if someone tells me not to do something about here, then I won't do it, if it's true or not. Especially when it involves my life, my safety. I won't do it. But I think that's probably going to be the last thing that bugs you, because you probably never see one. And you don't want to see one, do you, really? If you see a crocodile in the wild, you're too close to it. You're too close to it. But all of these being said, I love the Philippines. I do. And would I recommend someone come here? Yeah, I would. I would, really. With all of these things, it's a tropical country, people. We're in the tropics. In the tropics, it's like that. Especially a developing country. Now, in the tropics, in other tropical countries, you haven't got things like this, the barking dogs, the video is all night and things like that, and lawless kind of rules. But here, you get that. It's like an organised chaos, if that makes any sense. An organised chaos. But my last words of advice here is, I would stay away from motorcycles. I would stay away from them. It's up to you, of course. I know many foreigners here that have motorcycles, but the longer that they are here, they sharp get rid of that motorcycle and then go to a car. Or there's lots of foreigners here who just hire taxis or things like that and just get themselves, transported by that. That being said, people, I'm finished today. I'm finished, and the cockerel is still croaking away. That's it anyway, people. Thank you for always dropping by and listening. I'm going to upload this video right now. It'll take about 20 minutes probably. If my internet is not good, it'll take 2 hours. But thanks, people. Take good care wherever you are. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. Hit that notification bell.